All right, all right. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys doing? I'm Jaggy, and I'm joined by Torpeter.
What's up, everyone? We're back for another late night edition of the Mario Kart Professional Series. We're coming at you with a match between My Choppa Go and Explorers of Time. We're just starting to get into the upper bracket. This is the first bracket match we've casted, meaning that if you lose one match, you're out. No more pools, no more qualifying. This is the real deal, so I'm hyped.
All right, so this matchup, round one, both teams finished off 3 and 2 in their groups respectively, so they were not able to get that first round bye. And let's go ahead and take a look at the lineups here real fast. Starting off with My Choppa Go, we have Crisis, Ferg, Jose, Ryan, and Ozzy.
Yeah, a lot of synergy in that lineup. They've been playing together for a while. A little bit of a mix between reg and CT players, but they definitely have some teamwork skills that some of these other players might not. On the other side, though, EXO, they have really solid players. They've also been a team for a very long time, very static group of players here with Artie, Ethan, Spart, Zane, and Savannah. I personally like watching this team play. Some of my personal favorite players.
It seems to me like you and I are like the designated explorers of timecasters.
We are. We always just run into them. So.
But on the topic of chemistry, though, you were talking about how both teams have been around for a while, have been playing with each other for a while. My Choppa Go have been friends for a while, but they haven't necessarily played together for a while, besides maybe in CTs. I do think if you're going to give a team the edge in chemistry, I'd say Explorers of Time have the edge here, because this particular group has played together for years now.
I'm looking out for Spart this match. I know it's a little early to be talking about predictions, but I feel like Spart is someone who's been slept on as a runner for a while. People like to, talk about his bagging and his trolling game, but he can really lay down some points. I think he's really solid, and I'm excited to see him getting more playing time with this team.
For sure, and also I do believe that Zane is going to be the notable name here in terms of the running. I do think he is going to be the MVP. I know I jumped the gun a little bit. Usually we talk about the lineups and then we talk about MVP, but I do think Zane is going to be a contender for MVP here.
I guess while we're here, we might as well just get into predictions for the match since we really don't have much else to talk about. Who do you got and by how much?
All right, so I've talked to some people that are predicting Explorers of Time plus 90. Mel actually predicted plus 92, plus 80, plus 100. I'm still going to go with EXO here, but I'm going to say EXO plus 54. I do think that My Choppa Go are throwing out their best possible lineup here. I don't think that they're going to be as well matched up against Explorers of Time, but I don't think it's going to be a complete walkover because you do have the likes of Jose and Crisis who have been together for a really long time. I don't think that Jose and Crisis are as good of a duo as, say, Zane and Artie, but I do think that they're going to be running up there quite a bit. And Ferg, he is known to make plays from time to time. So I do think that My Choppa Go are going to at least give Explorers of Time a little bit of run for their money.
Ferg is definitely
plus 54.
Ferg is definitely Mr. Team Player. He's never cared about indivs once in his life. He will put his body and his points on the line for the betterment of the team, and that could really come in handy sometimes, especially when you have people who can stay up in the front and run effectively. Although that is going to be difficult against the running power that EXO has. But honestly, I feel like they know enough about how to play around each other and how to work together that they could string together some really good races. I've seen teams like this do it before a lot of times. If they get like a really good shock and they all end up in good spots, honestly, they could get top 4 and just carry that momentum as the match goes on. And,
sure. And on the topic
I don't think they're gonna win though, but I kind of want to root for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean they did have a little bit of a hard time in Group A. I know they had that complete walkover against CB, or on the side of CB, walking them over, and they had a couple of ups and downs. I mean, most of their matches were either walkovers on their end or walkovers against them. So I'd like to see them bounce back from that. Explorers of Time, their matches have been a little closer in terms of the points, but they've also been lacking a little bit on consistency. I'd like to point out the matches against Insane and Harasato. We did see several mistakes coming out from them. In the match against Insane, we did see Ethan unfortunately making a few mistakes that cost him the war. And then as well, Spart wasn't too consistent in the Insane match, but I do think they're going to bounce back here, and it'll be a matter of who's more consistent in this particular matchup. I think that's going to be the biggest factor here.
Yeah, because we have seen EXO play in those high-pressure situations where it's coming down to the last race and the score is really close, but we haven't seen them do that well in those situations, whereas with My Choppa Go, we haven't really seen them, put to the test like that at all, so who knows how this is going to happen.
We only really saw them put to the test against Charge Brigade. I mean, the rest of the teams in that group were kind of lackluster. I mean, you had the likes of Cash Up, Contingency, and the Blue Thunder team, which didn't even play. Yeah,
they got a free win there, and let's see, they had a pretty rough loss against Phantasmagoria as well. So definitely hit or miss with this lineup.
Yeah, what about the bagging battle? What do you think?
Oh, so we got Ozzy and Sabby. Ozzy, I know he's a really, really good bagger on CTs. Like, he knows a lot of strats that people don't know. He's very solid. Savannah's also been doing this for a long time herself, so I'm hoping it'll go pretty even. As spectators, we like to see it not be too lopsided for one team. I think it's going to be pretty even.
Yeah,
I don't see this being too lopsided.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, in the end, I'm gonna go plus 54 for EXO, but I mean, anything can happen. It's Mario Kart. We have seen our fair share of upsets.
I'll go I really want this one to be close. I'm gonna go plus 8 for EXO. I think it's gonna come down to at least the last GP, if not the last race. I'm saying plus 8.
All right.
Yeah. It's gonna be a nail biter.
We got a wide range of predictions here. I mean, you got plus 8 EXO, I got plus 54 EXO, Mel has plus 92 EXO, and Fusion, he didn't make a solid prediction, but he said 80 something, I believe, for EXO.
Mm-hmm. And we're finally gonna find out what's gonna happen as they just started the room, and we're gonna take a look at the starting spots that they have. We have not implemented alternating spots in reg tracks because it's usually not that important, but in the odd event that one team gets all the top spots. Oh, they are doing alternating spots, actually. I did not know that.
Yeah, in the brackets? No, in the playoffs, in the upper and lower brackets, all the matches are going to be alternating spots.
Ah, I like that.
I do like the alternating spot idea, and it could actually give the teams a sense of tactics, because you can choose which players occupy which spots. So your strongest runner can occupy second, and it's a bit of a tactical thing. If Ferg, I believe, is occupying the second spot. I don't know if he's first or second. I don't know who's hosting. But it's very interesting to see. Okay, Ferg is hosting, and then we are going to see Sherbet Land come out here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a volatile track.
Alternating spots, definitely the move, even on regs. I know today we played a Sui War against EXO, and they had top 4 in the room, and it got really rough for those few races where they had that advantage, but we're not gonna have to deal with that today. Sherbet Land here, we're seeing a pretty solid mixture of spots so far in the back. It's very hard for one team to have an advantage this early on.
And I would say this is one of the most shock reliant tracks in the game. One of the key reasons for that is because of the off-road stat. Whenever you're in a dodge, like in a star or a mega, you tend to go a lot faster than in other tracks that don't have the off-road stat there.
Yeah, you're gaining more time. And if we take a look at the people going backwards on the map, we had one Me who just fell off, and then one Funky Kong who is just cruising.
The Me is Ozzy, and that's Sabby winning the bagging battle by quite a bit. I do believe that Ozzy pulled a bill at some point, and he's fallen behind here.
Right, so with the pack being pretty close and already having the star, and there's a good chance his team's going to be getting the shock, he's in a really good spot here. And it'll be up to his teammates to make sure that none of the MCG players break away, and they can try to get their own dodges.
We do see a 4, 5, 6, 7 coming out from EXO here, though, so I believe it's a top 3 for MCG right now.
Yeah, if the player in third gets a back bomb, God forbid, that could be a huge swing for them. There's a TC, also coming with blue, and they're going to cancel.
There it is.
They cancel out the TC as Ethan used his star, and now they're just barreling through.
And he does star Ryan there.
Yeah, he was a sitting duck on that turn. And now this is a pretty solid break.
Yeah, I don't see a comeback here from MCG unless there's 2 blues coming in here. I mean, 2 blues are kind of rare in like a 20-second stretch, but it can happen.
He's very safe with all these manas. I think, yeah, we see triple reds in third place, but it's not going to even make a dent in this top 2.
That bomb, they were a little, yeah, whoever threw that bomb was just a little too far away, so it looks to me like it's going to be a top 2 for EXO. Maybe worst case, 1-3 if there's a blue on Ethan, but he could potentially be comboed if he does get blued. But it looks to me like EXO might be holding it, actually, so top 2 coming in.
Yeah, he's playing very safe. No reason to do anything risky. He created a lot of separation between him and the players behind him, so he was fine. And maybe he gave his teammates a chance to shroom up. And it looks like Spar ended up in like 4th after that, so pretty solid start for EXO. They definitely, there were no strings attached there, no gimmicks. That was a very clean race that they played with a good shock and, you know, decent driving.
Yeah, and in this particular track, usually you want to have at least one person bag, and MCG did, but I guess in some cases 2 bagging is the meta here. MCG went forward for the most part, and they were occupying top 3 and weren't able to get shocked, though. You kind of want to have that presence in the back to grab all the dodges and whatnot. Top 2-4 coming out from EXO. Good start.
We did see Ethan and Artie both holding their dodges in mid spots, which is just a great place to be. You can use shock whenever you want. You can cancel any oncoming items. So yeah, good stuff to them. They did get those dodges early and they just didn't die, and that's all you have to do. And now this is their first chance to push ahead with a good running track here.
I think TF is the meta here. Top 2-4. You can have 4th draft first, and 3rd. The person starting in 3rd is starting off in a really bad spot. So, and it looks to me like, yeah, they are going to be picking TF here. It looks like. You see BC3 coming out from MCG. I know that's one of their signature tracks. That's usually what they pick from the get-go. And I know Ferg likes to go for Ultra. Like, he's very adamant about it. He goes for it no matter what. So if he can make this to start off with, then it'll be good for them.
This track is definitely an all-or-nothing track. There's definitely a lot of clutch factor involved here in whether or not you can make those cuts when it matters. Because, you know, there's no half. You have to go all in with the cut. You either cut off the entire gap or you just don't make it at all. And that can really change the difference of whether or not your team wins the race. And a low trick off the track is not a great start, although luckily,
it's not what you want to do.
Since they were top 2, it looked like Ethan in front of him was able to put a fib on the cut, but he missed the very edge of it right there.
We did see Spart taking cut. He is occupying 2nd. Did you catch who's first, actually?
Someone must
MCG.
have passed.
I think it's Ryan. Yeah, Ryan. It's someone from MCG. I know that they're broken away in 1st. I think that was Ferg going for Ultra. I'm not entirely sure, though.
Ferg. It looks like EXO is in 2, 3, and 7
it is Ryan.
With the bill. And I'm interested to see if Artie is going to go for Ultra here now that he has this. I'm not sure how confident he is.
And again, Sabby winning the bagging battle comfortably. Especially with, well, the thing is with Bill, I think Ozzy's, Sabby's actually going to chain boxes here because she knows
Ozzy doesn't
that they
know.
have Bill.
Alright, let's see. He is going to risk it for the fans.
Risk it for the biscuit.
No, just barely, not far enough. He's going to have to waste the bill. And now he's kind of in a rough spot because the pack is pretty spread out in the back. He's got a lot of ground to make up, and there's not a super high chance he's going to get a dodge here.
Don't quote me on this. I saw someone spinning out in the minimap as Ozzy was going backward. I don't think it's a troll, but it's something to keep in mind.
Oh! He had to avoid all those shells, and he just kind of ran out of room on the right side of the track, and that's a really, really awful respawn.
It was the POW that sent him off. I mean, the POW made him go into the direction of the reds, and then he just hopped inside and fell off. But
he was stuck between a red and a lava pool, I guess. He maybe could have finagled his way around there on the side, but that was rough.
And we do see MCG still locking down 1st here. We'll see what happens with the cut up here.
That was probably an MCG POW. Oh my god, look at a quadruple block on the cut. Even a Mega can't take out all those, so that's definitely a very comforting if you're the player.
I think this is a top 3 for MCG right now. Top 3 for MCG.
Yeah, all of a sudden they all got up there. A shock into boxes from EXO, though. Artie has a chance to make up some ground if he gets a good item. Triple Reds is going to be a good start to take out at least one player. You're going to make more.
Oh, and he actually gets comboed there after the red, so it looks like Ryan actually got hit as well. Still a top 2 for MCG. Or Crisis. Yeah, Crisis got hit, and then Ryan got hit as he was coming up.
Usually you can dodge reds on that straight, but if you get shocked after the boxes and you can't move quickly enough to hide behind the holes in the track, then you're a sitting duck, and they were prepared to capitalize on that as much as they could and stop the bleeding that race, despite the solid play from MCG.
It was damage control, that shock was, and Ozzy's going to have to answer back because he did get outbagged in both races, and MTG, had they secured the shock there, they could have maybe gotten top 4 had they dodged someone outside if they had a dodge. But still okay for MCG. There's still 10 races left. There's a lot of Mario Kart to go.
Yeah, MCG definitely a little bit fortunate that Ethan barely missed blocking the cut there, as Ryan was able to take it and run the entire race. It's little things like that. Maybe he drops that fib like a few inches farther forward, and he runs the whole race on his own. You never know.
What would you go here, though, if you're MCG? You're occupying top 2, 6, 7.
I think
I'd
DDR,
say DDR,
is one of the best things, just because there's 2 boxes on the tight line, and it's so good to get goldens and stars on that track. And there's a lot of good backspin spots, but I know it's kind of a tech-heavy track, and some people might not be completely confident in their ability to run everything, so we'll see. Ooh, I don't know about TF, because there's 2 people that could get drafted, but if they swerve hard enough, it could work out.
Yeah, first is definitely gonna have to take an odd line. Yeah, second as well. But I mean, them taking an odd line, them swerving, it's still risky because you lose some speed here. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a bit bold, but they could be confident in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching top 2 here to see what they do at the very start to avoid getting drafted and to avoid getting, redded and sniped off the bat. We could see a swerve onto Artie by the player in second, or maybe they'll go the other way. Maybe they won't swerve at all and just hope. Yeah, definitely some left and right movement there.
But we did see Spart drafting Ryan there.
Yeah, right away.
Ryan took the odd line, and there he is. He gets sniped. So immediately a top 2 coming out.
Oh, big plays from Artie. Artie putting in work off the bat. 10 seconds in, Artie taking names. And I think what happened was Spart was probably ready for Ryan to swerve to the right, and I think he followed his line, because a lot of people do that. They'll go at the fence and then they'll cut back in. And Artie has now greened 3 people on the opposing team, which is, that's
so
something.
We are seeing a top 2 still coming out from EXO and the star in 5th. This is a bit of a dice rolly track, even though Savvy has gotten the shock in the first 2 races. I mean, this is 50-50.
Right.
Is he going to schlag with the star? No, he opts not to. There it is.
Oh,
that's
Triple
what I
X
was
is a
looking
huge
for.
Ball. Are they top 4? Do we see? Oh no, okay. Crisis is the only one up there.
In 3rd.
He could get sandwiched very easily though. Since second place can't pull TCs, they could just spam boxes as long as they want and just keep putting pressure on Crisis, and eventually they could land a hit. And if he slows down too much, he risks getting redded.
I mean, he has the schlagging items here, and then he has triple shrooms to catch back up. He is set.
Yeah, he's got a shield, and he's got a weapon, and he's got speed up.
I do think it's smart for him. I mean, yeah, EXO are occupying 5th, but I was going to say, okay, now he's going to schlag.
Oh. Is it worth sacrificing this much time to schlag? They might not. I feel like if you have shock, you would not do this, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and then they're gonna. If you schlag in this scenario, you're probably gonna force MCG out of the dodge anyway, so you'll probably get starred and then go all the way down to 8th. So I do think running up is the smart decision here.
He does get another set of triple reds and a blue. He throws it though.
MCG.
What happened?
Wait, did Crisis get back up to?
I don't know how Crisis managed to get up there, but. Did he have a shroom at first too?
Oh no, yeah, he had a shroom, so he threw it.
Wait,
anyway,
no, what happened?
The person dodged.
He didn't dodge it. He's getting killed on the line. They got top 4.
Wait, what?
It looked like he spun out and then he kept going and then he spun out again. So
it was Crisis in first. How did he get into first? I have no idea.
I don't know. Some weird shenanigans happened that race, and none of it worked out for my Choppa Go at all. There could have been a red at the end, maybe. I have no idea. That was very strange. It was too hard to tell based on the minimap. But that was just unfortunate. Yeah, that was
top 4 though. That is a dagger right there.
And they are top 4 overall, very early on. That's killer swing.
Okay. I do see Peach Beach at relief for my Choppa Go here. Had it picked Rainbow Road, it would have been really bad.
Yeah, anyone can win in this track. So the starting spots don't really matter. Even if 4th place drafts first, And it's not very permanent at all, and it's going to be hard when the player is driving through the grass on his screen, so... Yeah, the spots are already completely mixed up. Is he going to go for the fibs tonight?
I do think it's a good idea. Yeah,
Our
Ferg
feed
was
is,
able to avoid
is a
it.
slideshow for a second, or at least mine is. Okay, it's back.
The triple reds again, though, from Artie, man.
Can Ferg spam enough items to... No, he can't. He almost got the fib off. It was a good sneak attack attempt, but... Oh, they're sniping
Oh, no,
him
I don't
one
like
at a
this, though. I
time.
know. I think you should just run, because... I mean, you only had
Yeah.
one red.
With the POW. Oh, early shock. 39 seconds on the clock.
That was spammed, I think. Because I didn't see Sabi spin out there.
Sabby is winning the bagging battle, right?
It could have been like she just might have dodged there. Did Ozzy spin out?
He's getting a lot of great schlagging items with his team all in front of him, and he's gonna go to town on this straightaway.
Oh, here we go.
He already got one. Was that two?
Oh,
And he's just
slowed
slowing down the rest of them.
so
Yeah.
hard.
There's only one My Choppa Go player up in front of him right now,
Even
and all of his
even if you
teammates.
even if you don't connect, they're slowing them down that much. It's just detrimental to them.
Yeah, and since it's very unlikely that they have another shock in play that they can use to catch up. They're not going to be able to scrape that many spots. We did see someone get back spam though. It was Crisis. I think he got comboed. I think that was another really good race for EXO. That was overwhelming. The items he got were just honestly insane.
I
Like,
wasn't sure about him schlagging with the red in second though.
Didn't he have a shroom in first, and he opted to drop back to fourth and schlag, and it ended up working out like better?
Yeah.
That was just strange. Okay, so My Tropico did get 2-4, but still a pretty heavily losing race there. And that was a top 4 overall GP for EXO. Not the start I expected, honestly, although it's definitely far from over.
Definitely not. And I do think that the huge X factor for that was picking Toad's Factory when you're only top 2.
Mm-hmm.
And EXO were able to just turn it around completely in the first 5 seconds and just run it up effectively.
Yeah, regardless of what lag happened or what items people pulled, maybe the strategy was off to begin with. Who knows? But sometimes you just gotta go with your gut, and live by the gamble, die by the gamble, and they may be dying by the gamble as we speak.
Yeah. I mean, it is okay to go away from the norm a little bit when you play this game, but I mean, whenever you're good spots on paper for a certain track or not good spots on paper for another track, I mean, it matters a lot.
The facts don't lie, the numbers don't lie.
But let's see which track they come out with. I'm interested to see. Okay, RBC coming out. Yeah, we are going to see a lot of RBCs in the future matches because alternating spots in room, it's pretty neutral.
Right. If things go well enough, there's a chance that the guy in first can hold it, although it's always a little bit different depending on the lag that's happening in the room and the way the players decide to move about. So we'll see. And it's way too hard to coordinate something when there's 4 of you in all these weird mixed spots.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you can go with what you're comfortable with, rather than focusing on, like, oh, what spots are we, what should we
Yeah,
pick?
because the whole point is on paper there is no overpowered pick or anything.
And that's why I like the alternating spots.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give an advantage to a certain team at all.
Alright, dropping back already, him and Spart. Triple Shrooms is fine, he can just... Oh, he's gonna opt to hold them.
Ethan does get killed, though.
He's got to waste a couple shrooms here, though, so the plan is, from now on, he's just gonna try to camp in third and pull shrooms or pull reds, just to take out those top 2 players.
And I do think Spark
maybe
may be
get a draft.
holding one of the dodges from the first set, and I think Ethan
Right.
maybe pulled the other dodge. MCG were all, like, mid spots. Oh, that's good ninja fit.
That was a good fib, because he recognized that his teammate was a little bit off to the side of him, and that he could just drop that, and Artie definitely wasn't
Yeah.
expecting a backspam to come from the guy in first. And that's a rough
But,
DC, unless he can he combo the guy? No, he's gonna be on the boost panels.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to say, though, MCG were all middle spots going into the first few sets, so I think best case scenario, they're holding a Mega and nothing else.
Is MCG top 4? Do we know? I think they are. I think them all
I think
back here.
they are, yeah.
There's a quick blue. If they have shock, I honestly wouldn't even cancel this. just because it's so risky to dodge a player on the other team. Let's see how far up they can get with that shot.
Top
He's
three,
gonna
yeah,
only make
top
it up.
three.
Oh, he got.
Oh, is that a top? Wait.
No, they
Top
got like
four?
top 3-6.
Oh.
Top 3-6. Top 3-6.
Okay.
I don't really know what went wrong that race. I guess it was just they lost their presence in the front and they didn't have a chance to shroom up, and I guess that didn't
Well,
happen.
two of them
other race.
started off bagging. It was Spart and Artie starting off bagging, but then Ethan got killed right away. And I mean, it's rarely runnable, but it can be if you all run in like the mid spots and all pull shrooms, and you either secure the shock or the race is shockless.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Any track is runnable if you believe hard enough, and that's exactly what they did. I mean, for real, if it's a track that like it's supposedly hard to run because there's a lot of good shortcuts, that means a lot of people are going to bag, and if a lot of people bag, then it might be harder for them to catch up.
Mm-hmm. So now, MCG occupying the top 3. I do think the smart pick here would maybe be Moonview Highway or BCW. I think Moonview Highway is a little more favorable for top 3, but they do go with BCW.
Right. BCW is one of the only tracks where there's basically no threat of a draft whatsoever. That's another thing that I was going to say about DDR earlier, is that
But there's the
even
threat
though
of
the other
item spam.
players... Right. DDR doesn't really have either of those, which is strange. But we're not going to see it play out, unfortunately.
We are seeing Peach Gardens coming out here from EXO, and they have gotten the better of MCG in terms of the bagging, so this may favor them.
That's true. I was not expecting to see Savvy be that far in last the majority of the races like we are seeing, but it could be just unfortunate luck. Maybe someone's getting bills in 9th, and that's not really...
I'll pay a little more attention to the bagging battle this time around.
Absolutely. On this track, it's always interesting to see how they decide to do it. Like, one bagger didn't go back at all, and unfortunately for us, they're both Funky Kong now, so it's going to be really hard to differentiate between them. That's an interesting play by Spart to drop back behind his teammate to get that box.
You see Jose taking the TC early on, yeah.
And there's another one for Ethan there, but did he pass it off to Spart? Who did that go to?
Jose got TC about Ferg as well. 2 TCs early on for MCG.
Although it looks like MCG might be in top 2. They probably had a good draw
Price
from
is maybe
first
holding
set.
the shroom here. No, actually he's not. I think it's only a 1-3 now for MCG. Yeah, we do see someone with the shock. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch the Funky Kongs coming back either. I couldn't see the name, but who do you think, which team do you think shock favors more in this scenario?
Well, let's see. Do we still know what spots MCG is up in the front? Are they like 1-4?
It looks to me like a top 2 still. Top 2-4 coming out for MCG.
Okay. Then it would probably favor EXO if they had it. Just because they're way more likely to get dodges, and if they shock themselves into boxes, they're more likely to get
Yeah, we'll just have to see in the next few seconds. These next few seconds will indicate who has it. And it looks to me like MCG might have it. The baggers are very close together. We'll have to see if one of them spins out.
Right, we don't really have any clues to see who's going for it. Zane shroomed up, so he didn't have anything. There's a chance that EXO is just waiting for them to get stars in the back. Maybe Spart has something, they're going to go last set.
And
he might shock into...
might get redded again. He's gotten redded like at least 3 times this race so far, but the
it
shock
was
does come in late.
Yeah, Ferg waited at the boxes. That's going to be Jose building up. Did it drop him into the wall? Nah, he should be fine to get...
No, he's fine.
And all their members actually went up. This is a big race for them.
1-3-4-5 or 2-3-4-5 or top 2-4-5.
Yep, solid stuff from them. Using their shock well. I watched some random video of a Ferg team playing, and they got a top 5 on that track. And it might just be their track. I don't know. It's hard to have a track like that be your track, but yeah. maybe there's just something about it. I don't know.
Maybe so.
Yeah, big race.
Top
That's
2,
gonna
4,
close the
5.
gap a lot. And all of a sudden, they're right back in it. Just when EXO thought they were going to be able to tap it in, we got ourselves a ball game. All right, and now that they're in bottom spots, we're going to be seeing the first real, reset track pick from So I guess besides the one we just saw,
And it is a 14-point deficit now for MCG, pulling it back right away.
And they do get their pick once again. So MCG unable to capitalize with a track pick there, but who knows? They could pull out another solid race here, like they just did, if they get a good shock, and they can keep their front presence and then dodge up at the end. Big lag start coming out. The first one we've really seen like that, and that's gonna definitely be a factor by the end of the race. Hopefully we don't have to correct too much. But Troubleshooter's in 5th is a good start. Barely anyone stopped at that set, and a lot of people are getting taken out in the town section here.
But still
he's gonna have a shroom first, assuming nothing crazy happens. And yeah, he's got a little bit of space too. He doesn't really have to worry about snipes or anything, which is very comforting. He still could get ready though, especially now that he's in the grass. That grass is there. It's deadly. Oh, see, see, there's the snipes I'm talking about.
That was just a pixel behind him there.
Yeah, if he was stuck in the grass for any more, he might have gotten hit.
Let's pay attention. We do see Ozzy winning the bagging battle very slightly, but neither bagger have the shock anyway. We'll have to see what happens here.
There's another Funky Kong that's suspiciously going forwards down there. It looks like Ferg's controller... Wait, there's 2 people. What's going on? How is it possible that 2 players are that far behind?
I don't know. I have to go back and look at it.
What is going on?
I think it's 1-1 though.
I'd hope so. Otherwise, that's so sad. Their controllers both died. I don't know. Maybe they just both triple rated each other. Do you think Ferg would do something like that in a match like this?
I think so. Is he gonna align for the backspam here? I don't think it's smart to. I think it's just smart to keep this green here.
Keep it.
Yeah, and even if he did back that though, we did see Ryan avoid jumping side to side. So Ryan is proactive here to avoid any backspams, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
When you have this much space, all you have to do is not get hit. If you're going wide time, that's fine. You just gotta make sure that it doesn't get too shaky. And he may have a shroom also, as we saw him going around. But do you think Artie called that shot to prevent them from taking it? Or do you think that it just worked out for them?
You know what? I don't know. I think, well, according to Zesty, she was dropping a start.
I don't know. We saw. Was it that Crisis dodge up to second? I think, or maybe get shocked into boxes. So
yeah, Crisis.
Strange. Yeah, that shock was a little strange because I think maybe what happened is he wasn't going for cut hit and he just knew the shock was coming. He didn't hit TS. That could be what happened.
I think Crisis went into dodge and saw that none of EXO were in dodges, so that could have been the call. MCG, I don't think they had any other dodges, and they might have called themselves into boxes as well. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Spartan Ferg there. Someone has to confirm.
It was a pretty even race though. Nothing too extreme came out of that, despite all the strange occurrences that race, like Artie jumping into the grass and winning anyway. And
EXO are picking RBC as they are occupying 145. That is a good track to pick when you're occupying those spots. 4th can draft first if first doesn't take an odd line. Same goes for 5th onto 2nd. Or well, first they are 1-4, so first is not going to take an odd line, but we'll see if 5th can draft 2nd here.
And as more and more tracks get chosen, we have to see them resort to some of their backup tracks in their mixed spots.
We are going to see a double draft. Actually, no. Artie does not get the draft on Zane there.
Let's see, what's he going to do with this fib? Yep, he just placed it right away. Jose got too greedy right there. Jose was definitely looking to just stick right behind Artie and maybe draft him on the straight and get up there. But he definitely gambled a little too hard, especially knowing that Artie has a box. Although I'd say it was good on Artie to not drag it out, because maybe there was some deception there as to whether or not he actually got something. And
anytime you're behind someone, and Crisis shrooms up in a mega.
Yeah, that was sneaky.
That was beautiful.
Because Artie would have had time to make it around the turn if Crisis didn't shroom, but since Crisis probably recognized that. I mean, he was able to get there in time for the squash.
Yeah. And even if you don't mega someone there, if you shroom up on the bridge, you're just the physics.
Yeah, that was definitely a panic moment. He obviously, in hindsight, he should have just driven forward and taken the hit, but he was trying to.
Yeah.
His reflexes took over, and he just dipped.
But I was gonna say Crisis streaming up with the Mega there. Even if Crisis didn't Mega him there, it still would have most likely psyched Artie out, like to where he was gonna hop to the side and maybe fall off the track. But we do see the bagging battle. I think he
tried to make a play there. Yeah, that's what it looked like. I don't know what happened to Ferg though. Ferg was having some thwomp trouble or something.
Yeah. This could be a sign that MCG have shock, but both baggers are still going back, so I'm not entirely sure.
I think we just saw Ethan in first, and we saw a couple MCG players up in the front. It looks like this could be maybe a top 2 for the Choppas. I'm gonna start calling them the Choppas. I actually really like that. They're the Choppas from now on.
Ozzy fell off, so he doesn't have the shock yet. I think Sabby might already have it. I'm not entirely sure.
Ferg somehow avoided that back bomb. Good stuff to him. Honestly, if I were Artie, I would have waited till one of the turns or something, just because it'll be blind.
Yeah.
And you get him after boxes, but yeah, he was already. Ooh, that's unfortunate. He's got to go for the shlag. There was a blue from. Was that from Ferg, do we think? Or did he just shroom? He may have just shroomed. That could have come from
he shroomed.
the
It wasn't
EXO
from
member
Ferg.
in 7th. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Oh, and Ferg's got one more.
I would know. I would just run this up if I were Ferg, because
I mean, do they have shock? I don't
small.
know. Yeah, he's chasing after a tiny corpse, and yeah, okay. Well, at least he slowed down Artie enough that Jose was able to pass him. This is just a mess. Who called that?
It might have been MCG just to get Jose into boxes. I don't think they had anything else going on there.
He's not gonna be able to get up there.
It's not gonna help at all. But
strange things going on.
Ferg was already ahead of Artie with that TC though, and I mean it is easier to pass a TC off to someone who's small, but I mean lag is a factor, and Artie was already gonna fall super far behind anyway. I think Ferg should have just ran that up, especially if that was an MCG shock. I'm saying if it was an MCG shock, he could have just ran it up, but that could have been a sign that maybe MCG just pulled the shock. Like in that instance, I'm not sure though.
All right, so I think that was a slightly winning race for MCG. We see Ryan definitely going in, putting in work. Same with Crisis up there. That was mostly the opposite of what we saw the first GP. They didn't completely bring back the deficit, but it was definitely a good sign of life here from the underdogs. And I think this GP3 is going to be the determining factor, like I said.
Yeah, and I'm really glad to see that MCG, after a blowout GP1, they didn't lie down and take it. I mean, against CB in week 1 of Group A, it was just a mauling, but after they took that GP1 deficit and they just came back, and now it's a dogfight here.
It's times like this where, you go to the locker room and the coach starts to give out some new strategy to really motivate everyone.
So again, alternating spots here. A lot of the neutral tracks are already pretty much gone. We do see Rainbow Road coming out from MCG, actually. Yeah, it's good. And we do see a DDR pick. They are putting their trust in Ethan yet again. That is one of his strongest running tracks. And EXO have found success whenever they pick DDR. So we'll see what happens here. If it does pick it, it looks like it will, yeah?
Mm-hmm. If Ferg does his job here and manages to stay in first for, the first half of lap 1, pretty much up until the wall glitch, then he can definitely run away with it. He does have pretty solid lines. He doesn't play regs all that much, but he still seems to be able to drive them decently, so let's see how well that works out for him.
Good enough to hold your own, but I don't think it's anything world-beating, his lines, I mean.
Yeah, he's doing his job for now. He's got protection, he's got some space.
Oh, actually, that was a good spot to back. Okay, backs the fib as well. That was a good ninja fib. I was going to say the green. That was a good spot to back it. Unfortunately, the bat.
I think he held it out into the bat. He didn't want to sacrifice time to go around the bat, but it was a pretty good spot to back the fib because it was unexpected. If you think about what Artie sees, he's like, oh wow, he just broke his green on the bat. That was weird. Why did he do that?
Yeah, usually
there's a fib in my fib.
Whenever somebody uses an item or loses an item, you don't expect another item to be spammed right away.
Yeah.
So Ferg took advantage of that split second of vulnerability from Artie.
Right. It's the variable clause. The more variables on the screen, the more likely they are to not be ready for whatever is going to happen.
But Ferg did fall behind a little bit. We do see Jose in first right now. If EXO can, or if Artie can pass this, this will be looking very good. But unfortunately, tanks
Jose
it.
holding down the fort. It's unlikely that the EXO players in 2-3 have any good items, so Jose should be fine for a while. Granted that there's no blue. Zane and Artie do have a good chance to get something to catch up now. I don't.
And EXO are holding a lot of the dodges here. Blue's gonna be coming in on Jose. Yeah,
commentator's curse. I'm sorry, Jose. That's rough.
And Zane
this
takes
could
the
be a
ultra too.
bad turnaround. Yes, Zane's getting up there, and he has a chance to pass more people at the end. Jose's gonna do
shot comes in,
they cancel
the blue.
it, and it looks
dodging
like
Ferg gonna start.
Ferg dodge. Yeah, that's very, very good for them. I still don't know who's in 8th. Is he
I
gonna
believe
look back?
it's.
I still could.
EXO.
Okay, it was Crisis. It was
I think
Crisis.
it's Ethan. Oh, Crisis. Okay.
Yeah. But I think my Choppa go. The Choppas are maybe in like top 2 right now. If Ferg got up there.
No,
Oh,
no,
he
no, no.
didn't
They're not
make it
top
all
2.
the way
Jose
up.
fell behind.
That bill
What
is
is
going
happening?
willy-nilly. I was in like 4 different places at once, and
Spots
it
were
didn't drop.
mixed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah, strange indeed.
All
I think
these
Artie
races
may
have like
to-
something weird going on. I feel like there's way more TCs than usual. Way more, maybe not way more blues, but a lot of blues.
Mhm.
Just weird things going on.
Yeah, and Jose wasn't able to keep his first. I mean, the blue did cancel, or the shock did cancel his blue, but I feel like eventually one of the EXO players behind him grew ahead of him and they might have back spammed him.
Mhm.
That could have been a possibility there, but it looks to me like a
Top 2, 6-8 for EXO.
+7 race for EXO there.
So it's getting kind of dire for the Choppas. They're running out of races left. They're running out of track picks, and they need a really big swing in their favor right now.
It would be demoralizing to be the very first team to be knocked out. I don't
That's
think anybody
true.
would want that.
Yeah. Do you know how many matches they're playing this weekend? Like how many teams did get buys?
It's gonna be, I think maybe like 6 matches or so.
Yeah, a
Something
lot
around
of
that.
matches going to be happening now.
Tomorrow, and a quick side note, tomorrow we are going to be casting Insane versus Apocalypse 2 at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so stay tuned for that one. Mushroom Gorge, though.
Alright.
This is a MTG staple. I know they picked this track quite a bit, so we'll see what happens.
Artie with the triple red's going to try to do some damage like he's been doing, and Zane's going to do the same here with his TC as they're already taking out some of their players. EXO running in top 2, and if he can create a gap here with this last red shell. And another mega to
Ferg.
Schlag. His items
I don't
overall haven't been... Oh! Did
And
Ferg...
he
Yeah.
decides to schlag because he hit the dirt, and I do think that was a good quick split-second decision there.
Right. Holding a mega, the whole race here is very risky. Especially when your team is top 2, because Shock can't benefit you that much. Assuming that the other team would probably predict something, so just burning the mega and giving yourself a chance to get other items and actually make plays is probably a good idea. And it seems like his items have been like obviously very solid, but like especially when his teammates are in front of him. When he has an opportunity to
unfortunate
Zane's
for
taken
Jose.
off.
No, Zane build up after he took the TC from Jose.
Okay, because we see one person is totally out of commission right now.
And I do believe that can confirm.
It's not Ethan, it's not Spartan, it's not Zane. So it must be...
So it's an EXO player, I think, because Jose and Ferg are still within the race, I believe.
I think it's Jose. But either way, EXO seem to have a lot of top spots right now, and the baggers
Oh yeah,
are...
top 4, actually, you're right.
Let's see, are they gonna... Is there gonna be a target shock attempt, or are they just gonna hold it? It looks like...
Someone's
EXO
gonna go.
Spart backing Nanas on the mushrooms, almost hit Artie there, but I guess they were ready to avoid it. Some
Ferg and
spots
Ryan take the
salvaged
gap,
by
that's
the
clutch.
gap.
Yeah.
Maybe no one had shot, because I would have imagined Artie would have called it as soon as he landed if they did have it, but... see, there's still no shot coming in, so the chances are no one got it. Which does happen on Mushroom Gorge, since in the time that you're going backwards, you're not actually getting that many items, and there's a lot of time between the boxes, and... sometimes you just won't get it at all, and that seemed to work out for EXO there, because they had top spots right from the beginning.
Yeah, it would have been good games had Ryan and Ferg not made the gap. So I mean, it's damage
Right.
control. It's still a very good race for EXO. I mean, MCG's still mathematically in it, but they're still in a dire position here.
Yeah, it's
And it was
it's a
was
big
Jose
mountain to
that
climb.
got bumped off there. I apologize. I thought I might have seen him there. And yeah, I would like to go back and point out. I'd like to piggyback on what you said about the Mega. It is kind of a risky situation to burn that Mega there. I think Artie probably would have held the Mega up until like lap 2 and then schlagged with it, but he hit the dirt and like his immediate reaction was bam, use the Mega, hit Ferg right behind me. And
It could have been
exactly
part of the
what he
mind
did.
game. Maybe he hit the dirt on purpose. Maybe that was just his plan.
Could have been.
Because, like, I don't know, if you, like, slow down in the middle of the road, then the guys would be like, oh, he's slowing down, he's probably going to hit me. But if you're in the off-road, then it might look like a fail. And then all of a sudden you come out of nowhere with a Mega. And then that's a squashed Funky Kong.
So 42-point lead coming in for EXO going into the last 2 races here. Moonview Highway does get picked. EXO are only top 2, 5-6 here. I mean, if MCG could maybe pull Shrooms in 4-5 or so and spam them, it could be good, but I think EXO might hold on here.
Item. You can avoid the threat of a draft right here by backing them, behind you and still have protection for reds. And then you also, by taking the tight line there behind the car, you can... Oh! Did that get sniped?
He tried to lag the bomb car, and I think someone sniped the bomb car in the process.
That's what you get for trying to lag the bomb car. I hate that.
Yeah, that was a clutch snipe for whoever did that. I mean, it would have been top 2 broken away for EXO.
Mm-hmm. So Ryan and Jose are still in the back, and I imagine Ethan's still in first, because I haven't seen anything happen to him. What's he gonna do with this POW? Because he's... Okay, they just let him use it right away. Sometimes you get a POW, and then you get hit by something, and your teammate's like, no, I have a golden in 4th, don't use the POW. And then there's no good spot to use the golden, and then you're just stuck with a POW, and then you get last. But
I like that from
we're not
Artie,
gonna see
getting the box in 8th, preventing Ryan from getting a dodge. But I think MTG might already be holding a couple of things right now. We'll see what happens later on in the race. Do you know anything about the bagging? I know one bagger has shock. We'll see who that is in just a second.
I think that one bagger in 9th is in Bill, and the other one's probably just sitting up there with shock. Yeah. And it looked like it was an MCG shock at getting Ferg into boxes in 6th and dodging around.
Someone dodging a Mega too. Someone dodging a Mega in the middle of the pack too from MCG.
That's definitely what they needed. They needed some.
It was Jose, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Is Ethan still in first? He might have had a big enough lead, or maybe.
Yeah, I think the breakaway was very large. Forgot the pattern. Can't forget the car patterns in Moonview.
Invulnerability. This is a bottom 2 for EXO, right? So
it looks to me like that is, but not good enough of a race for MCG as they would have liked. Yeah.
They still got 5-6, and I don't think they got first, right? I think Ethan might be on 45 at the moment.
I think
which is good
still
to see.
Secured first, yeah.
Because Ethan was one of the guys we talked about in the group stage that was making the mistakes late on in the match when it mattered, and right now he's doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that he's bouncing back.
Oh no.
What is the text saying here? I can't even see it.
I think it says I'm so bad at the game or something like that. So we're going to see probably an all-run effort from my Choppa Go. And honestly, if you're EXO here, you could also go all-run just to the possibility of a troll penalty. It's winnable for the Choppas.
It is doable. BCW though.
BCW, long track, a lot of time for EXO to get shocked since they probably will be the only ones bagging. And that's bad news. We did see MCG picking Ghost Valley 2 to try to avoid that situation, but unfortunately it didn't work out for them on the track select screen, so now this is a very, very tall order.
We'll just see what items MCG pull in this scenario. They gotta spam them to try to maybe hit Ethan. Because they need a big race here. They gotta take some risks, and we do see a Mega coming out from Artie.
He's just... Oh, it just doesn't stop with the Megas.
And at this point, all you gotta do is secure first.
At the very end of his Mega. Yeah. It looks like Ethan lagged back at the beginning a little bit, but that might have just been on Artie's screen because he was still in first after that first straightaway. And are they like top 3? This is very secure already. It's going to be very tough to blow this.
Spart went for glitch, it looks to me like, but
Crisis
I
made
don't think he made it. Yeah.
That's
very clutch from Crisis. He needed to do that.
Maybe he could just get he'll just drop a fib at the bottom of the ramp where you land, and then he'll do another one, and he'll get all
on
three
the
of
left
them.
side. On the left. Oh, he actually backs it down the middle.
Yeah, they're just loading up the bridge with items. As long as they can keep the other players back, then that's all they have to do, even if they don't hit them.
A little bit of lag coming out here.
Yeah.
And Crisis just needs to back his life at this point. We do see
I don't know
early
how.
shot coming in.
Oh, Chris has got someone off the track, but Spart's gonna dodge the bill, and they respawn dodged. I think he got backed off.
Spart and Zane both dodging up. I mean, lap 2 shock. I mean, at this point, you just gotta secure anything, and that's good for EXO to use that lap 2 shock. It's unexpected.
Yeah, top 4 is kind of gone, and I mean, Crisis is still holding on to first, so good stuff for him. But honestly, I feel like it's kind of a feudal battle right now. We could see a bomb snipe attempt. Is he gonna chuck it up there? He's gonna yeet it. There it is. And I think he threw it off the track, maybe?
Yeah, it went on.
Yeah, I think if he threw it a little earlier, he could have kind of bounced it off that bottom of the ramp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, how are they going to get all these EXO players out of the front? Even if they get Shock at 9th, they can't TS all of them. And chances of them having enough dodges, are pretty low.
We do see a green coming up. That was a really laggy situation, but I think Spart might have gotten random green in that scenario. I don't know. It was really laggy, I can see, but still a 2, 3, 4 still, I believe, from EXO. Yeah, this is a wrap. It's been a wrap ever since the first few seconds, yeah.
Alright, well, once already crosses the line, we will have confirmation. As long as there are no trolls, EXO is going to win the match. They will advance to the second round in the upper bracket. MCG definitely put up a good fight. They showed up pretty well today. I'd say they definitely had some good races where they showed what they were capable of, but in the end they just didn't have what it took to take the match.
Yeah, and I do think it was overall a decent performance from EXO, and I do think that Ethan, I mean, he was the standout player. He was up there almost all the time. And I'm glad to see that he bounced back from a couple of rough performances in the group stage.
Exactly. Early shocks, early schlags from EXO kind of set the tone for the match. They really made it an uphill battle for my Choppa Go, which they did an okay job dealing with it, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. And that's the first team to be eliminated from the spring split.
Yeah, we could take a look at the brackets too, actually, just to see what this means for EXO. I do believe, yeah, they are going to be playing, oh boy, Ethereal in round 2. So that's going to be a
win that,
match.
they'll be playing the winner of Hurasato and Darug. So that's going to be interesting.
And both you and Mel are playing in that one as well.
That is true. A caster and a host. That's us.
Shout out to Mel/Batcake for hosting this. Yeah, I mean, we're all staying up late and providing this content.
It's for the people, as always. Yeah. There were some minor problems like early on, like on Peach Beach, things got kind of hairy for me, but I think it ended up, being a pretty quality experience for the fans.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Explorers of Time are definitely going to have a rough time, and that's an understatement against Ethereal. But Explorers of Time, I mean, them having the chemistry that they have, and they do have the power to be a threat to anybody, any team in any division. It's just a matter of consistently staying up in the front, and they did do that for the most part this war. I do think GP2 was kind of a slip up, but I think for the most part it was because MCG won the shot count. I think it might have been like 3-1 or 4-0 for MCG, and they used pretty decent shots. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, as the rounds progress, obviously the teams, and the competition that's remaining going to keep getting better and better. I can't think of a single top team that isn't competing right now. This is going to get very intense. There is money on the line. We still don't know how much, how that's going to be distributed.
It's undisclosed, yeah. I mean,
undisclosed. The suspense.
I would like to shout out Wally and Nick. I mean, they're putting most of the funds in for this because they did have the option for donations, but a lot of people just opted not to donate. So a shout out to them for putting money in the pot.
It's great to see people, taking real strides to try to take this game to the next level with, more competitions like this, what we're seeing now, in kind of like a series season format. I think that's really cool. It's a great step in the right direction by them. So big shoutouts.
And we have a couple of other intriguing matchups in round 1 as well. Tomorrow we're going to be casting, like I said before in the MG race, we're going to be casting Insane versus Apocalypse 2 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be an intriguing matchup. I still think Insane have the slight edge here, but Apocalypse 2 have been on a really good run as of late, and I do think that they're going to pose problems for IS. Thank you guys so much for coming out. For those of you that came out, midnight all the way to 1 a.m. Eastern Time, in case you do live in the Eastern Time Zone, and for those of you living in Europe, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. for you guys. Shout out to Taz. I know he came on and watched the stream. I don't know who else came on from Europe, but thank you guys all so much for coming out. We're going to be coming at you guys with IS versus AP2 tomorrow. Yeah, stay tuned for that. On behalf of MK Boards, I'm Jaggy.
I'm Torp.
See you guys next time.